Conor McGregor versus Michael Chandler, the Ultimate Fighter. Coaches, will they fight? Will that war go down? Will it happen in the octagon this year, 2023? Well, that is the question. And that is what we all want to know. And to be honest, the boss man himself, Mr. Dana White, he doesn't even have the answer. Obviously, we just had UFC Charlotte. Dana always does a post-fight press conference. And here is what he has to say. I don't know. That's the most asked question that I'm getting right now. Obviously, the season of the Ultimate Fighter soon. And during that season, we will be working very hard to put that fight together. And of course, he will. And you want my hunch? I think it's going to go down. Listen, here's what Michael Chandler had to say about it. Michael Chandler was very, very respectful, to be fair. Didn't really talk any crap. What he could have done was, kind of go at Conor a little bit and call him a coward and all these type of things. But what did he say? He said, no. He said, I think Conor, to his core, is romantic about combat sports or the sport of mixed martial arts. He really is. He loves it. And I think he's got an ego the size of Texas. So I think he needs to get back in there and continue to feel that rush. Feel the crowd acting like he's a god for those 15 or 25 minutes, whichever it may be. And he said this as well. He said, I think he's coming back. I think it would be a huge stain on his legacy, leading everybody down a road, making people think that he's coming back, and then kind of chickening out at the very end and only doing it for publicity. That, to me, screams insecurity and trying to stay relevant rather than seeing through your commitment. Chandler went on to say, I could be very wrong about it, and if I am, I will be surprised and, quite frankly, disappointed. But also, I'm not going to sit here, blow up my manager, blow up Dana and Hunter, and just be calling them all the time, hey, when are we going to get this done? Everything is still up in the air at this point, but Chandler has a time frame in mind. And he did not say that final part. I just added that in. I agree with Michael Chandler. It would be a huge stain. Listen, this is a fight that everyone wants to see. Conor McGregor is still by far and large the biggest star in mixed martial arts. The reality is he doesn't have to fight. He's having fun right now. He's on his Lamborghini yacht. He's got tons of money. He's got businesses. He's got investments. He's got the whiskey, the beer, the bars. You know what I mean? He doesn't need to do this. But you got to respect that about McGregor. He does like to do this. And I'll tell you what right now, there is, as he says, no better buzz on planet Earth than that. I miss it. I miss it every day. But I'm very happy. I did my bit. I made my mark, McGregor, still only 34 years old, And he wants to make records and he wants to make history. And that's another thing he was saying this weekend. Look at this. Conor McGregor vows to surpass Matt Brown's all-time UFC knockout record. And of course, Matt Brown responds. But let's have a look at the tweet from McGregor. Matt Brown, at 42 years of age, now holds the joint highest knockouts inside the UFC with 13 KOs. Him and the Beast Lewis are tied. I hold 8 KOs inside the octagon. Currently 34 years of age. I'm getting that record. What do we think about that? Do you think he's taking that record? I don't know if he will or if he won't. I'll tell you this, I've got 11 stoppages, TKOs or knockouts inside the octagon. So you got 3 more to catch up to me, Conor. But 13 for Matt Brown. It's crazy, isn't it? You would think those numbers would be higher, but it just shows how hard it is to get a finish inside the octagon when you're fighting the best fighters in the world. So anyway, listen, the reality is if he says that he's going to come back and he's going to become the knockout champion of the world and the record leader and have all these things, he's going to come back. He's going to fight. And the fight on the table is Iron Mike Chandler. Now, that is going to be a ridiculous fight. It is going to be ridiculous. And, on The Ultimate Fighter, they were getting a little spicy. They were going back and forth. In fact, we have a little bit of footage. We have the trailer which just dropped, and people have probably seen this by now. But we're going to play it just for fun. And at the end, McGregor, grabs hold of Chandler by the throat, gives him a little push, a little nudge.
Some of the most electrifying moments ever in the UFC. A dominant run that earned him world titles in 2 divisions at the same time. Now, the most notorious warrior ever is back. On this season of The Ultimate Fighter, Conor McGregor makes his much-anticipated UFC return.
Only on opinion. This is more game forever.
Looking to spoil the party is bruising powerhouse Iron Michael Chandler. They'll face off as coaches.
You're slipping, you're dipping. Relentless in their face.
Guiding 8 warriors hoping for UFC redemption.
That's it.
And 8 looking for their first shot at glory.
Yes.
Team McGregor versus Team Chandler.
Stop talking to me. You run your mouth. I'm trying to win.
It's the new season of The Ultimate Fighter.
Shut up, I'll break your nose.
Premieres May 30th, only on ESPN and ESPN Plus.
So there it is. There it is. There is the promo. And I'll tell you what, UFC, their production team is just fantastic because that gets you hyped up, makes you want to watch that. And of course, that bit at the end where he grabs him by the throat, it's personal. So that's now why Mike Chandler wants to get his hands on him. The reality is, though, is that Chandler is kind of easy to hit. He is hittable. He has that very, very exciting style. A lot of people have criticized Chandler and said that he could use a higher fight IQ. Against Conor McGregor, you think that he's going to wrestle, but against Dustin Poirier, he went out there last year at Madison Square Garden, and it was just a succession of right hands that he opened with. So the fight's going to be bananas. It'll be ridiculous, and I believe the fight will happen. Now, of course, the big issue is the USADA testing pool, okay? Not getting into the whole steroids thing or whatever. Conor snapped his leg. Okay, snapped his leg. Maybe under doctor's orders, whatever. He's come out of the testing pool and he's on some supplements or steroids or whatever bloody word you want to use. Performance-enhancing drugs. You could say drugs to try and just cure the operation, cure the leg. I'm not making excuses for him and I'm not throwing shade, right? Just, we all know the situation. He's come out of the testing pool and he's walking around, in his words, like a fridge freezer. You know what I mean? And he definitely has got a little bit bigger. And he's definitely got some work to do if he's ever going to see 155 pounds again. Now, I think there was some confusion. I can't remember the exact words. You probably saw it back in the day. I say back in the day, maybe a month ago. McGregor was like, I've just got to do 2 tests. 2 tests and I'm good. And then USADA came out and they kind of put out a tweet and said, no, you got to do 6 months. So I'm not sure which way that is going to go, you know. Hopefully he should have to do 6 months. I don't think Chandler would even care. I think he just wants that fight. I think Chandler just wants to be a part of the biggest fights possible. And they don't get much bigger than McGregor. Now, in terms of a timeline, what are we in now? May. So 6 months, he could fight at the end of the year. I think the idea was Madison Square Garden. That's going to be John Jones versus Stipe Miocic, judging by what everyone's saying online. So the final card of the year, at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. They still got 7 months for that. So McGregor's just going to get in the testing pool. He's going to get off the whatever he's on. Got to get off the good stuff and get back on the protein shakes and the porridge, and we'll be good. You know, but he has got to do some work. He's got to get training. He's got to get in the gym. He's got to do everything. But one thing he has been doing, he has been winning the mind games with Michael Chandler. I mean, yeah. He pushed him by the throat, grabbed him, whatever. That's never a good sign when someone loses the temper like that. Good promotion, though. But there was that little clip, wasn't there, doing the rounds where they're in the gym and McGregor says, oh, well, what weight do you want to do it at? We're fighting at 185. And then Chandler says, yeah, I'll do it at 185. And then McGregor says, you'll do as you're told. And then just walked off. And Chandler didn't say anything back. It's like, dude, you got to speak up. You can't let someone dictate the terms like that. You know, but still, there it is. Love Michael Chandler. Conor McGregor, listen, he provides endless entertainment. Let's be honest. The sport is a better place with him in it. Yeah, what do you think? Do you think we're going to see Conor McGregor versus Michael Chandler this year? I do. I think it's going to go down on the final card at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas in December, and it will be a monster. Anyway, it's late here. I'm going to bed. Hope you're all well. Subscribe and ring the bell if you haven't done so, please. And I will see you very soon. In fact, by the time this video comes out, Francis Ngannou apparently is making his announcement. Where has he signed? We think it's going to be the PFL. I'm going to be doing an instant reaction for that one. So stay tuned for that sometime tomorrow morning. Well, today morning, by the time you get this. You know what I'm saying. It's late. I better go to bed. You guys take care. Thanks for watching. All the best.